Please instill wisdom in us, the wisdom to govern amid various issues, the confidence to stand up for what is good and fitting, and a thirst for justice and rightness. I pray that this agenda set forth before us today benefits all those who live in Columbus City. Amen.
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 Thank you, Mark.
All right. So the first order of business, do we have any citizen comments? No, nobody signed up? Okay. Citizen comments, I asked. Yeah. All right, we'll move on to consent items. I just wanted to point out that I've spent a little time reading through the correct rules and procedures of consent items and what that entails, and Carolyn and Mark and I have talked about it, and as well as Will. And in the past, we've done it a little differently, where we go line by line. But technically, it's something that I bring up and ask the council, which they know what the consent items are, and if we plan to approve them, or if someone on the council wants to talk about a specific consent item, they can mention which item that is and pull it out to talk about it in the order of business. So.
Or pull it out ahead of time.
Pull it out ahead of time, right? Yeah.
I would like to pull out item 4B and item 4CI, 4CII, and 4CVII.
Okay. Does anyone else have any that they would like to pull out and discuss? No? All right, so Vanessa will pull out consent items 4B, 4C, 4CI, 4CII, and 4CVII to discuss. With that being said, or without objection, the remaining items on the consent agenda will be adopted.
We don't have to make a motion? No.
We don't have to make a motion or vote on that. All right, the next item of business is old business. Old business A, discussion update on community center complex project and the golf cart facility by.
Are you going to take the items first, or do it after the old and new building business, or?
We can do it either way, honestly.
Well,
But
because the city manager's report is one of the ones I wanted to
that's a good
pull out.
point. So let's do.
We need to do those first.
Okay. So yeah, let's talk about financial statements from Will.
All right. So this is our asset and liability breakdown for May 2026. You can see the general fund total liabilities and equity is sitting at $900,000. Our debt service is $175,000. Capital improvements are at $6,614,000. Utility fund is at $4,800,000. Recreation has $1,100,000 for a total of $13,641,000. This is, I know you can't read the text up there, but the graphs, the top left one is our cumulative revenue for our administration department. The actual cumulative so far has been about $889,000. We projected to get $1 million. Technically from our revenue. Some of that would have been pulling out from cash reserves, though, to fund other projects, which we've not had to do yet. On the flip side, you can see that because we haven't needed to pull that money out, we also haven't spent it, so our expenses are lower than we had projected. And the line graph on the bottom left shows the blue line is our actual cumulative profit versus loss, and the orange is our projected cumulative. Actual cumulative so far is $172,000. We were projected to be at $104,000 negative at this point in the year.
Okay, and the question which we had spoken about, the insurance expense currently all resides in the general fund, but we're going to put them into their appropriate funds.
That's right. Or Just about all right. Some of it has been broken out. We will work to get all of it broken out into its appropriate funds, and next year we'll try to have it broken out immediately. So that insurance is a little bit inflated, which helps the overall outlook of the general fund, because it looks worse than it is for how much it has spent. So it's doing a little bit better than than what's shown on paper here. Yes.
Your assets versus liability, which is page 9. I'm a bookkeeper, and one of the basics of bookkeeping is assets equals equity and liabilities, and it doesn't. So if you need some help with that, I'll be happy to help you. Basic principle.
Well, thank you. Where's it not adding up?
The assets total equity and liability. Those two agree. And they don't.
Oh, okay.
That's not big, but it's just, as a bookkeeper, that kind of bothers me.
It's like about $9,000 off.
Oh, okay.
Or 90,000 maybe. 9,000.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to get that corrected. Thank you.
Talk about a direct fund?
On the assets for liability, page 9.
Yeah, on there.
Yeah. Assets equal liabilities and equity, basic principle.
Yeah. I'm saying it matched on these three funds, it's when you get to the rec fund, it makes the total.
Okay.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Why, I don't know why, but it
Don't know why.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why either. I'll have to look at that. I don't know. Thank you for pointing that out. Any other questions on the administration or the assets versus liability? Otherwise, I'll continue on to the utility fund. It's set up the same, so you can see that at the top right, we have our revenue for the utility fund. Our actual cumulative is the blue. Our projected is the orange. We're about $20,000 above where we projected to be at $1,058,000 versus $1,031,000. Below that is our cumulative expense for the utility fund. There, we've spent $998,000 by the end of May versus a projected of $1,165,000. And our profit and loss, you can see that we are starting to spend a little bit more, and that's where that downtick is. Oops, sorry. So right now we have a positive $4,530. We were anticipated or projected to be a negative $158,000 at this point in the year. Recreation fund, there, let me get this changed to that. The same setup, blue is actual, orange is projected. The actual is $671,000 of revenue versus a projected of $660,000. Our expenses have been higher than anticipated, which has been the story throughout the year that we need to make, we are addressing and we need to continue addressing. The actual cumulative is about $817,000, where the projected cumulative is $650,000. Part of that steep increase is because we did get insurance money moved over there, so that it's been sitting in the admin all year, and we did move it over to, at least on this.
And the insurance comes under what category?
That should be administrative expenditures, and I think that some
Got
of
it.
it is under employee expenses for workers' comp.
What kind of insurance are you talking about, like workers' health insurance?
Workers' comp and liability insurance for vehicles. And coverage for, or not just liability, but insurance for vehicles and buildings as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Through Texas Municipal League.
So you're saying previously that was, those things were not insured and we,
Not quite. Previously, it was showing up just in the administration budget for
okay.
all of our different funds. So having that broken out looks like a new expense, even though it was from October or January 1st. Okay, any other questions on finances? Okay, we'll move on to the city manager's report. I'll start off by saying I've been talking with community members, trying to get one-on-one time with them, addressing any complaints or questions that come our way. One person called me, or came in yesterday actually, asking about preventing golfers from hopping onto their property. He said it's a problem that he's had consistently, is that people jump his fence, get on his property, and he doesn't like it. He knows it's not the end of the world, but he'd like it to stop. I told him what we can do is make sure that it's a very clear rule that that's not allowed, and it could be a violation.
The other thing they need to do is they need to put a sign up that says no trespassing.
Yes, ma'am, he did.
Huh?
He has done that.
He has one.
He has, I think he has,
Well, okay.
yeah. Yeah, because I told him you can't get a higher fence, 4 foot is the limit.
Yeah.
But we can absolutely address it by, if they're violating our rules, not letting them come play here. He said most of the time it's not his neighbors or people from town. He says that it's from outside play, so.
Does he have an actual fence, like a normal size yard fence, or is it just a?
He has a 4-foot chain.
Oh, wow. Are people coming over to get their balls that they lose?
Yeah, they just hop it.
Should that be something that should be written in the golf carts somewhere? Do we have rules, I guess, that,
Well, I think that's probably several things that
yeah.
will be addressed, yeah.
Beyond that, we've talked with some homeowners near the construction project, near the community center construction project downhill from it. We saw their house kind of today. We were concerned about flooding during the project. They know that it's going to, our plan is to have the drainage system as good, if not better, than it was prior to construction, but during, they're very concerned. So we went ahead and put sandbags around one homeowner's property where they said they had to get out with squeegees and push water for hours because it was coming down so fast. Part of that too is we have an existing berm that has sunken over the last several years that we need to get out and rebuild. It shouldn't take too long. We just need a bigger wedge, plow, I forget the pieces, a trencher perhaps, but something to build it up in one fell swoop.
Which hole was this on?
Right behind the water tower, right downhill from
It's
there.
on
Oh, the
five. It's
one
off-
that's-
It's off the tee box on 5.
Yeah,
It's
those,
houses
okay,
to the
those that we
right.
have always had trouble
And-
with, okay.
Yeah, that's always been a low
Yeah.
spot. Yeah.
Yep, so we're doing everything we can to help them. Unfortunately, we can't really do much to their property except recommendations because it's private property. Johnny recommended maybe putting in a sump pump that you can turn on. It goes right, they have a drainage system they put in underground to help, but a pump would really help that. And I think that they were gonna look into that as at least.
If we just rebuild the berm to where it would actually function as a deterrent or a guy or a.
Diverter.
What?
Divert.
Good word. Divert the water flow, which it was working, but well, before the berm was put in, when there was nothing, it was really a problem. But then the city put in the berm and it seemed to work, or it did work. So it just needs to be rebuilt.
Yep. So that's our plan there. Try to rebuild that berm ASAP. And we have our sewer improvement project that goes across the driving range. The boring through that homeowner's property, I believe, is completed. We got a trench down along the, pretty much the entirety of the driving range. That silt fence, we're gonna see if we can't move it back a little bit for the 4th of July celebrations. And speaking of 4th of July, we're putting in request for 2 officers or 2 sheriff's deputies to come out and assist with, safety for the duration of that, which would cost us, it's $80 an hour, so how many hours do we need them for? It's gonna be that.
The parade starts at 9, and then they'll be there at 10, and food starts at 11. We expect everybody to be gone by 1, I think. We said 2, but I think everybody will be,
Yeah.
most of them.
All
So,
right.
yeah, 4
And then
hours.
Also,
should-
I would think that one of the more critical times for the 4th is in the evening at
Mhm.
night, because we also need to make an announcement that there's no fireworks
Yeah.
allowed in the city.
Can they hear you?
I don't know, can
Can you
people
hear
back there
him?
hear me? Sorry. How about now? Is that better? These things, can you turn up the volume or?
I can try.
We don't have to do it right now, I'm just wondering. I said that it's probably a good idea to have a sheriff deputy on duty, hired, of course, by us, Meadow Lakes, the night of the 4th of July, just in case, you know, we have to enforce the no fireworks policy.
That's Garrett, that's been impossible because they've got spread on all the other things that are going on in the county.
That is true. We can ask at
Yeah.
least. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably a challenging night to get someone to come and work for us. Yeah.
That's right. And then, one other thing I wanted to make sure we touched on is availability. We have the proposed fiscal year 2027 budget calendar in your packet, and Councilmember Richmond pointed out that we should get our availability for July pinned down, because we have a July 2026 council and staff review proposed budget and establish date, time, place for any required hearings. And on the 25th of July, that's when the certified taxable value from the chief appraiser comes to us.
Well, you had, you just have July, and you said review proposed budget and establish date and time for public hearing. So is that gonna be early July, or is that something that follows after we get the chief appraiser's property value?
Well, we do have, it's not certified, but we have a pretty good bet of what it'll be here to give us the preliminary. And talking with them, it usually doesn't change much from that. It might change a little bit, but we can pretty much take it to the bank. So we,
Because the reason I said that is because I'm gonna be gone from July 6th to the 16th.
okay.
And I will be gone from the 28th of June until the 13th of July.
Okay. Not a problem. We can schedule around those.
Oh, I forgot, I may have one more date, July 24th, I may be gone out of town. So,
Okay. And I'll send out an email also, thank you for sharing those dates with me to make sure we get any other availability nuances.
yes. Well, on calendars, I really think it'd be nice each month to have a calendar just to review of who's where, just in case there's ever a special meeting we need to call, to know if somebody's gonna be out during the month, so, and also, you know, where you might be, or conferences or things like that, and just have it each month, so, and update it, just in
It's like
case.
a shared calendar with the council members.
Uh-huh, just so that we, and with Will, we all know, and then Vanessa also knows when people are going to be out.
That's a good idea.
Maybe we should just all email Vanessa and tell them our dates when we're out, she'll collect them, compile them into one calendar.
Yeah, whichever way, I just said, I think, because sometimes people are gone and we don't know they're gone, and then you don't know if you're gonna have a quorum, so
Yeah.
that was,
Well, can you share a
Yeah,
calendar
there's
that's
a-
just partial? Were you gonna be out of town? I don't think you can, at
I
least
don't
on
know
these,
either.
on these things, you can, I share with my wife, I share the whole thing. You can't share partially.
You can have a totally separate calendar that's only for your City of Meadow Lakes Gmail
could.
account.
You could.
And that way it allows all of us to look at it.
Okay.
Yeah, we can get that going. That'd help planning our schedules a little
Mhm.
more.
okay, so,
But Bruce, I like your idea too. Just have
Yeah.
Vanessa send out an email
Yeah.
first of each month, and everyone replies
and
back.
that's easy to do,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
All right, any other questions or discussion for C1, or CI, City Manager's Report, before we move on to the other item?
Was the utility report, because we didn't have one in our packet, so is that something that we have or not?
I do,
Get that out.
So there's been a slight delay with that. I do have a portion of that report. Johnny is currently working on that, and he'll have it out as soon as humanly
Okay.
possible. But he did give us a review of brush pickup, which is pertinent to the utility department because they're the employees that are doing it, and also because we have waste management here, and that's part of what they're gonna
Right.
talk about. But I can cover that. So on average, for the weekly cost of brush pickup, it takes 2 employees 8 hours, so 2 people, 4 hours, 4 hours of truck time, 4 hours of chipper time. The approximate cost to the city on a weekly basis is $182 of labor, $233 of truck expense, and $221 of chipper expense, for about $636 of brush pickup each week. And per year, that comes to $31,800 for this weekly brush pickup service of about 25 houses.
And that would be done at a certain time of the year?
That would be done at the same time as bulk pickup. And waste management can cover that in a little bit, but
Okay, when we
have
get
been
to that,
talking with
okay,
them and,
okay.
you know, telling them our woes, and they said maybe they can help us out with
Okay,
this brush pickup.
okay. All right, and the other one we pulled out was golf operations, which were David.
Yeah, David, do you want a microphone to you, or are you okay to stand up? Okay.
Spectacles. Good evening. Mine's quick. Is this on?
Nope.
Is this on?
No.
No.
There you go.
Now you're on.
Good, test, oh, good, that's good. Okay, I think it was last month in the meeting, or maybe the month before, I'd mentioned that we'd had quite a few people asking if, you know, how much revenue we're losing because of the construction. And at that time, I'd said that we were actually above projection and actually above the last several years as well. So today, when I looked at it again, we're about $50,000 ahead of last year on that same trajectory, up, obviously. And then from the fiscal year 23-24, where that was our banner year. We did that was our best start of the fiscal year, was that year. We're actually ahead of that by $6,000. That's pretty good. Now, who knows? I mean, we've lost 7 out of 12 weekends, either weather or, you know, the course being too wet. And it's amazing that we lose that kind of business on the weekends and still be ahead of where we were the last couple of years. And remember, last year we lost almost the entire 4th of July holiday. So if we don't lose 4th of July holiday, we may kick dirt on all the other years for revenue. That'd be great. That'd be great. And of course, my staff has been outstanding with me being out a lot of the times. They've stepped up, and maybe that's why we're doing better. Wait a second, I need to go sit back down. But everybody has picked up the slack. We've got the shop in order. I think Jasmine will have her little snack building done hopefully in the next week or so, and we'll be the only occupants in that building. But it's been fine. Everybody's worked together. She helps us out, and we help her out. The last thing is for the golfers. If there's anybody listening on the YouTube, we have flipped the nines. So basically, the back 9 is now the front is now the back. And the reason we did that, basically, when you come off of 9 to get back to the pro shop, you have to go back all the way through the parking lot, and you get hung up in traffic. And on average, it would take somebody about 11 minutes to go from the 9th green back to the 10th tee box. Well, 11 minutes, that's a full hole. So people that choose not to go in would go up on the 10th tee box, and the people that were in front of them are now trying to get back, and obviously you see the problem. So we decided that we're going to make number 18 the 9th hole, so obviously the flow will actually work perfectly clockwise as opposed to 2 circles. Now we're just going to run one big circle around the whole thing. And we've got signs, everything's, Isaiah and the guys went and put all the signs out today, and it's very simple. It says Pro Shop Arrow, Pro Shop Arrow. There's not any long discussion on how you're going to get around. It's an arrow here and to the range and back, Pro Shop, parking lot, and out. think it's gonna be any issue. I'm sure the first week, if we have some growing pains, people just hop out on what they think is 1 and it's 10. But I've got one of my guys, Tom, it's been one of my cart guys for several years. He's my parking guru. He does all the big when we have a big tournament, he does all the parking czar, I guess you could say. He makes sure the flow of everything works, and so he's gonna be there, for the next couple of days as well, just showing people around, letting them know that we flipped the 9s, and I think anybody that's played here before, it's not gonna be an issue. It's anybody that comes in new or only played 1 or 2 times and they get a little lost, but we got people out there to help them move around and move them through.
What days are we using marshals?
It depends on their availability. I've got the one marshal that I hired 3 months ago snapped his leg in half, and so he just came today to get his orders, and so I'm gonna have an afternoon marshal out, and I'm not giving him a schedule, because I don't want people to know his schedule. I want him to be, because I told him I don't want him to be in confrontations, and I told him there's gonna be a chance, and there's a really good chance you're gonna get in a confrontation. You come get me and we'll take care of it. But he's out there, he's gonna be like the policeman you see on the side of the road when you slam on your brakes. If people see a marshal out there, as long as they're out there, most people they're not gonna go cut donuts somewhere and screw things up. Now, if we don't have marshals out there, obviously in the summertime, it gets a little sideways. But having him out there, and anytime we have a closer, we go out and check the bathrooms out on 15. And so there's always somebody constantly driving around. Now, the bad activity might be going on the other side of the golf course, so you don't know. But I think for the most part, we've got a pretty good handle on it. I think I was talking to Steve a second ago, the e-bike thing is kind of slowed down a bunch, actually. Who knows what happens with that? But I don't think I really have anything else. Do I have any questions?
And the shape of the golf carts, I mean, and I was told you have about 11 down right now?
Mm-hmm. Nine are with just tires. I mean, just get the tires on there, we're good. We've got 2 that we're waiting on parts, but the tire changes are easy. We're just waiting to get them mounted on the rims, and they're out the door.
All right.
Good thing is we haven't had one of those weekends where we run out and we're sitting on there waiting for
Well,
somebody.
that's what I was wondering about, was whether
Well-
you've been running out of carts.
Well, and to be completely honest, I think I'd talked about this before. We manipulate the tee sheet on weekends, so we block 3 times in a row, mid-morning or late morning, and then we block another 3 times. And what that does is it allows not all the carts to run out, but that also keeps, obviously we're down 22 parking spots. So by manipulating the tee sheet, we allow people to still be able to park. There's still grass is being used, but it's gotten to be pretty good. And then Reed is working. He's doing all the cart work now. He goes on vacation here soon, but those 9 carts with the rims or the tires, that's an easy fix. I would say 2 carts are actually down.
Yeah, okay.
I don't really count flat tires as a down cart. Thank God, because we can get it would be a mess.
David, do you plan to have normal operations on 4th of July?
Yes.
Normal.
Yeah, and I'll have Vanessa put in the newsletter for the day before and the day of 4th of July. We'll have the range closed so we can
Yeah.
do all the tents and all that. But I'll have her do the newsletter, and then I'll put on our little signage up there too. I don't think it's going to be an issue. I mean, somebody will get mad because they don't get to hit balls. And look, you don't get a putt or chip either, so you might as well go down and tee off.
Yeah. Just take a mulligan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's on the last thing, on the chipping green or the new putting green, we've got our 4th, we got one more spray to spray that area to kill the rest of the grass. And then I'll have an irrigation guy come out and start looking at, exact spots. And once that's done, I mean, we basically turn it over, and we've done all we can do as far as killing the grass. That's the only thing we're good at doing. But that's it. What you got?
Is there any rule against hopping fences?
Well, it's trespassing.
Well, I mean, but is there a golf course play rule where if you hop a fence, do you?
I've had this happen over the 25 years I've been here. It's happened probably 30 times, 40 times. And I'll ask the homeowner, do you have a sign on your yard? And she said, well, we shouldn't have to have a sign. I'm like, okay, I understand that. But if you put a sign in your yard, I want you to call me back within 2 months and let me know how many people jumped your fence. She didn't call back. And then we had, the worst one was on 13, where the dog leg is, where the dog runs around and tries to get your golf ball. That one got jumped, and then the person got chased by the dog. But then he put a sign up, and then the next door neighbor put a sign up, and that's been 3 years ago and hadn't had one now, I'm sure it may have happened, but they didn't catch him, and I haven't had any reports, so.
Dog didn't catch him.
The dog didn't get, the dog would have licked him to death. But I would think your first shot would be put the no trespassing sign. That way, they have, just cause. If somebody jumps over their fence and, I would imagine they know they're gonna come get a golf ball. They're not coming to break in their house in daylight. But, like I said, I've not had one other complaint. Anytime somebody puts a no trespass, it typically works. Actually, one of those was your neighbor, when you lived over here. And that was just a little log fence.
Yeah.
And that was easy to get through, and she put one up there, and it has access to get in, and she
Yeah.
said she doesn't have anybody in there.
Yeah.
And she's got a gate.
Yeah.
You know, it also works, beware of dog, even though you don't have one, they don't come in.
David, does someone using a ball retriever extending it out into someone's yard the same as trespassing?
That's a gray area, but yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're still entering their yard.
Yeah.
The best thing to do is get a golf ball, stick a nail in it, put a spike, and put it in your yard, and watch the guys try to get it out there. That's a good 5 minutes of entertainment there.
Driveway and then try to drive it out.
Of course. Oh, yeah, I'm sure. You've had that several times. All right, well, thank you.
All right,
And
thanks.
congratulations on your employment there, sir. It's nice to have you.
It's not employment.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
It's not employment.
All right, so we've discussed those items, and moving on to old business. 5A, discussion of the community center complex and the golf cart facility.
Sure, we had our owners meeting today, and Councilmember Shaw and I were in attendance. Our construction crew is about 90% done installing the groundwork for the utilities, if I understood them correctly. They need to do their fire suppression system test with the fire marshal and a couple witnesses for too long, or before it can get approved. So that's on the docket to get done pretty quick. We also went down and looked at the silt fences and are gonna move, I'm trying to think of the way to describe it. The one that's further out as you go around. Do you think of a better way to describe that?
The T-post with the rope on it?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that one and the silk fence along the west fence line on the driving range, I've already contacted Lanny, the contractor that put that up. I'm gonna meet with him and show him what we need to do.
Okay.
I don't even know why I know why they put the rope line up. It's just to keep people off the,
Yeah, that was, saw that today, yeah.
but, that, for all intents and purposes, it could be moved back or taken down. But I'll talk to him about it.
Okay.
Probably tomorrow afternoon. He hadn't gotten back with me yet. He wanted to meet in the morning, but I'm playing golf in the morning. So
No dice.
I'm not gonna meet. And to add on to what Will was saying, the schedule, the contractors have got a concrete pour schedule starting July 13th, which means their rebar is set to be delivered. They'll have that put in for the pads, for the community building and for the pool house and what other concrete pads they have there. So they're trying to push on their schedule because of all the time they've lost due to rain.
Yeah, sure. Was it?
That's
Is that it on
about
that,
it, yeah.
on the community center? We also need to come up with the right name for that, by the way.
Yes,
We
we've been,
keep saying
I
community
know.
center, and
it's not,
I don't know if,
we need a naming contest to try
Yeah.
to figure out what this is gonna be called, but,
the meeting house. I don't, I don't know. All right, next item is item B, warning sirens.
The warning sirens, the purchase order's been placed. The cost for that's $57,189. Plus we'll have some minor installation fees. There's one last thing we need to get addressed, and that's radio frequency. We have to make sure we have the right permits for communicating with that tower, because that's how you activate it or shut it off. So that shouldn't be very difficult, and we'll be good to go to get it installed and monitored, and we'll be a safer community.
Is there a timeline, you think? I know that Johnny kind of is staying on top of that, but do you have any word from him on what the installation goal date is?
I'd say within the next 2 months.
Okay.
Yeah, 8 weeks from today, we should be able to get it in there. Assuming there's no delays in delivery,
Yeah.
they should have it shipped to us. We have the poles to put them up on, a little bit of electrical work, and yeah, shouldn't be too big.
And the poles, Johnny was able to find those on site, right? They were leftover
That's right.
poles, so we don't even, it's something that we save some money on
Yeah.
by not having to buy towers or poles, which apparently were pretty expensive, it sounds like.
Yeah, it's a very good find, very good idea from Johnny, because that
Yeah.
saves us a lot of money, not having to buy new 40-foot poles. Yes, sir.
Where are they gonna be located?
One is gonna be down by the garden, I believe.
Yeah, where the
community
city
garden
community garden.
on,
yeah.
What street is that?
Mahan.
Mahan, Quail.
Quail. And then I believe the other one's up by the sewer plant.
Mhm.
Yeah,
One of the shops on 1617.
pretty well out of sight for most people, I think.
And I can put in the newsletter tomorrow, the diagram or the map showing exactly where the proposed locations are.
Yeah, and that was all recommended after the study from this company that installs the sirens, that provides the equipment. They did a study on the topography and the trees and all of that to see how the sound would be projected, and that's where they came up with those two sites. So,
And then are we doing all the contracting and the installation, or is it the siren vendor they're not having them?
I believe that we're doing the installation. I think that they send someone out though, right, to show
They
us
do.
everything?
Yep, and they'll do the computer stuff.
Right.
And make sure it works right, but we're the ones that put the poles in the ground and hang up the equipment.
And I think the other question, I heard 2 months is kind of like the projected timeframe.
Mhm.
Trying to get that money spent in this fiscal year, is that what we're trying to do?
I believe we've already spent it. We've already,
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't know, okay, good.
So it's on the order. It's coming.
Good.
Yeah. All right. We don't have to take, it says action on that, but we don't need to take any action.
Nope, just there in case you wanted to.
No.
The next order of business is discussion about the 4th of July festivities. with
I think
Councilmember
everything is been ordered. I've got all the, I ordered 200 constitutions with the Declaration of Independence to hand out to the kids. And we've got the program set, and I think all of the, they've got the vendors, and everybody is pretty well set for, for what we're gonna do. Main thing, we just want people to come and to remind them to, to read the sign out front, and also to make sure that they are, if you don't have a newsletter, get on the newsletter, because there will be updates each week, and there have been updates about the 4th of July, and that's, so we'd just like to encourage everybody to make sure that you have that you are getting the newsletter.
Great.
Nice work, Carolyn.
Yeah, that's been a lot of work.
That's been a lot of work, I know.
Yes.
I regret it.
Well, there's a lot of people working on it, so everybody has their own little piece, so.
Yeah. And I think that the T-shirt orders came out well. There was quite a few, I want to say 90 T-shirts that were ordered.
51 orders.
I think we have a few more that we had to order just to meet the quota. So I had to order like 6 more. So, and some of those are kid sizes, so maybe we can give some out.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah. All right, moving on to new business. The first item of business is a presentation by Waste Management on our future services.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and Council members. I'm Matt Myers. I help manage the franchise contract that we have with Meadow Lakes for our once-a-week trash, every other week recycling, and every other week bulk collection service. I've got Brent Ochoa. He's one of our operations managers, so he'll be here for if there's any operational questions that I can't answer. So I wanted to talk about pitching a proposal for taking over the brush collection that you've currently been doing for a very, very long time. And you do it once a week, every Thursday, with a chipper and a dump truck for up to 25 homes. What I want to propose is coming out with a grapple truck, which is a truck with a big open top container and a seat with a grapple that's operated, that reaches over, grabs the brush and puts it in the back of the truck. And we would do this every other week for up to 50 homes. And with the grapple truck, we won't have restrictions on the diameter size of the branches, of the stumps. This equipment is perfect for picking up, large piles of brush, and that can be on the heavy side. So pile size, no restriction. Just put it out, we'll get it every other week. So it'll be a process where those residents that want to have their brush collected, they just call the office, be put on the list. That list will be sent to us every other week, and we'll create the tickets to have the truck come out on an every other Friday basis, the same time we're doing the bulk. There was a discussion with my manager on doing the bulk and brush with the same truck, but just the amount of bulk we're collecting in our rear load truck, we want to keep doing that the same way and doing the brush on this grapple truck. So that would be for the brush. For the leaf collection that you do during November and December, you do that with a vacuum truck. And that's taken to an area where the leaves are dumped. And what we want to propose is providing you 40-yard open top roll-offs for November, December. If it goes into January, so be it. And we'll haul those on a scheduled or on-call basis, and we will add that to the list of donated services that we provide for Meadow Lakes. So we'll haul this at no charge during those months. So what I would like to propose is a 3-year contract extension. Right now, the current agreement ends at the end of this year, but there's a renewal option where it renews for an additional 3-year period. I would like to propose a draft contract for a 3-year period, adding these services and the donated roll-offs for that period. So the monthly residential rate would go up 4% for the first year. We'd start this in January of 2027. And right now, the residential rate, $30.04. Starting in January, when we add these services, it'd go to $31.22. And the same rate adjustment language would apply for year 2 and 3. That's under the current contract. So this is going to save you money. We can add some value by taking the brush off your hands, not having limitations on the diameter size, the length. We'll get it picked up, and we're going to haul it up to our Burnett County transfer station, where it'll then be disposed of. So I'll open it up to any questions or concerns you might have.
I have a question. So on the unbundled brush collection, so do the homes that want it, do they have to call and make a reservation here to let you know which are the addresses?
Correct. And then City Hall emails the list. We'll create tickets for each of those addresses, get them routed.
And so it'll be it'll be 50 homes, and if someone doesn't make that 50, then they'll have to wait for the next 2 weeks.
That is correct.
Okay.
Correct.
We wouldn't necessarily cut them off.
Right. I talked to my district manager. If it was 51, 52, 50, that's 55. That's not a problem. Now, if there's a big weather event where we have some significant, tree damage. That's something we can evaluate if it happens, to discuss, okay, for that, this is what we can do to
Yeah.
get this removed. If there's any additional, just one-time charge for that.
Matt, what's the cutoff for notifying the city?
You know, Thursday, Thursday, if we can
The
get
day
the.
before you pick up?
Correct. If we can get the list by noon on the Thursday before that Friday, that gives us plenty of time to get the tickets created.
Is that how it currently operates with the city, if someone needs
Yeah.
that
Except
hauled
it's
off?
Wednesday, they gotta
Wednesday.
notify.
Okay.
Just the day before.
But they have to call the day before? Okay.
And then when we're talking about a significant storm, do we handle continued street sweeping when the limbs are in the street? Is that still, that'll be our responsibility?
That'd still be us, yeah, and it would be, we haven't crossed that bridge yet. Having Waste Management able to help would be fantastic. We would still have our crews, so if a storm came and we needed stuff picked up the next day, we'd probably just start doing that right away. And it would be on our crews. We haven't agreed to anything yet, so I can't say for sure how that would work, but, yeah, we'd still have our
Then
utility
the
guys.
40 roll-offs you're calling?
The 40-yard open top roll-offs, yes.
Now, does that mean we're still collecting and then putting them into the roll-off?
Correct. I have no means, because right now the residents just pile up the leaves at the curb. Right.
Yeah, and one problem we're going to encounter in the next couple of years is running out of a space to put yard waste, especially with, it's wet right now, but with drought. We've had a fire over at that lot before. It wasn't caused by yard waste, but it sure doesn't help having tons of, flammable material right there. And we probably won't be able to burn there forever. So having an option to collect all the leaves and get rid of them in a responsible manner, that's
Okay.
what we're looking for.
But explain to me, are you gonna station these roll-offs in a specific location?
Correct.
And then the residents will have to gather their leaves?
No, you would still collect the leaves with the vacuum truck, and you just take them over and dump them
Okay,
into
so
our.
the city will still do the vacuum?
That's right. Yeah, we'd still go around with the vacuum truck, the street sweeper, twice a year or so, get all the leaves picked up and deposit them over near the yard waste site into their roll-off.
Okay.
They're big enough so we could compact them with a machine, and then they'd haul them away, as long as we don't bust the site out of the roll-off.
And then on the limb and branch pickup, they have to be bundled or?
No, not bundled, and
Okay,
no,
so you have some claws or whatever, gonna reach over, grab it, pull it out.
lift it up, put it in a,
And when you drive off, what you're gonna do is leave a smaller pile of branches and wood.
small
wood
twigs
wood.
that we can't get with the grapple, yes.
Yeah, that you can't even grab, so.
Do those claws cause any damage to the yard and the curbing?
No, but our one requirement is just, let's have the piles at least 4 feet away from your mailbox, 4 feet away from any parked vehicle, because we have to come with the truck and we have to set down posts, and so the truck stays where it is, so the driver can then get up in the seat that operates the grapple.
What about just like small dime-sized diameter limbs that fall from a small storm? You have a few, that might be too small for the arm to pick up, but will y'all get off of it and actually pick it up by hand?
That's something that the resident, for the small parts, they would have to bag up and put in with their just regular trash or
Put it in the
during the
regular
bulk
trash.
collection.
Yeah, well, sometimes those limbs are really long from here to the wall, and they're still smaller limbs though,
If they're long and small
Yeah.
limbs, we should still be able to,
Oh, bulk collection, okay, that makes sense, okay.
Yeah.
and what we'd want to do, if this is something you wanted to move forward with, is we would draft a residential services brochure that adding this service, and then we would just have these distributed to every resident's trash cart to let them know when it starts, what the plan is, that there's no limitations on the diameter, size, length, and that way, it's just one way to get the word out to all your residents.
Matt, if it's, say, one limb and it's 6-inch diameter, and you're gonna pick it up, I don't see how you're gonna do it without damaging yards. that damaged?
Well,
the grass?
actually, last month we had that storm blow through on Sunday.
Yeah,
It hit an area of Marble Falls there on the west side.
Okay.
South of 1431, north of Second Street, where they had some significant tree damage
yeah.
and we got it all picked up with the brush truck without any damage to landscape or the ground.
Okay.
And we've got not just one driver that's trained, we've got 3 drivers now trained to run this grapple truck. So that gives us some bench strength. When one's out on vacation, one's ill, we've got other people to step up and run that route. So we just started this with Marble Falls last year. So this is another, when we talked about how we can help Meadow Lakes, this became a good opportunity for us to help you guys out, so,
Thank you. Thank you.
okay? Any questions from,
The only thing I can say is on your handouts, you better be sure that you emphatically say large print that this is not for commercial tree trimming, because the
Oh, yeah.
intent on the pickup is for what I go cut and pile at my curb, not what somebody else, I hire somebody else to bring 4 guys in, top all my trees, because that's never been covered on what Meadow Lakes picks up.
right, that's a very good
That's a
point,
good
and that was a concern we had with Marble Falls, taking that over, that other contractors would get wind of this and just start going and dumping their piles in areas around Marble Falls. So that's a good point, we could definitely put that in bold
Yeah, big
on the
letters,
brochure.
big letters.
Good question, good point.
Would we be looking at entering into this contract before the current one expires, amending the current one, I guess, or just entering into it entirely?
It'd just be a contract amendment,
Yeah,
where we
okay.
add, this service and as, in our definition of services, and then just what the rate would be effective January.
4% is January 22nd.
That's correct, when we start the services.
That's when the services would start?
Correct.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Can we start it earlier if we deem it necessary?
It's probably to get the brochure,
Yeah.
developed and get it distributed, it probably just, I'd say it'd be easier to start
Okay.
in January.
That's when our contract expires.
Right,
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you, Matt.
okay,
Thank you.
thank you. We appreciate the partnership that we've had over the years, and we appreciate this opportunity to take over this for you.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
All right, moving on to our next item. That is the ordinance 2026-02, establishment of a golf course advisory board.
All right, so this does not have to be, super complex. I did get some feedback that is sometimes contradictory, so I wanted to make sure that we're on the same page about the intent of this ordinance and how we want it to function. Really, the only, or one big one is council members serving on it. Former Mayor, Councilmember Bentley, you suggested maybe we put in something there that says, council members and employees are not allowed. I believe that you wanted to appoint.
would you say that again?
Oh, well, there was, the one point was, should council members or employees be allowed to serve on the Meadow Lakes Golf Course Advisory Board?
Okay,
Whatever you want to do.
So
what difference does it
I
make?
think backing up, just so everybody understands what this is, Carolyn, I think, has sort of led the conversation about helping create an advisory board to the golf course for the operations, but also, say, a 10-year plan of improving the golf course conditions. Whether it be tree trimming, like there's a lot of trees on the golf course that need to be trimmed. Improving the greens, what are we gonna do about that, talking about different funguses that are on the greens and what other golf courses are doing to help improve their greens. Also, the whole operations of the golf course, so like even fees and things like that. And so the committee is going to be established to help collect information, figure out what needs to be done to improve the golf course, and then report it back to the council for our understanding of what's going on with the golf course so we can take action to improve it. So that's what the committee's for. The question is can we have another council member on the committee? And I think it is totally okay. I mean, we can't have more than two, right? Because that would be a,
That'd be a quorum.
yeah, that would be a quorum. And so I think that Carolyn definitely needs to be on that committee because she has a lot of knowledge about the
Well,
golf
I
course.
think I'm also a representative of the LGA, because what we were looking at was the parties that are using it. So we do have a member of the WGA, the LGA, the MGA, as, well, actually, in other groups and other people that have, and so that's what the structure was looking at, but.
Who chose these members?
City
Okay.
council.
The mayor is going to be choosing the chairman, and then we have the mayor with the confirmation of the council would be, the council would be confirming the mayor's choices.
Yeah.
You're making the choices with input from the council or just on your own?
Input from the council,
Okay.
yeah. If someone comes to me with someone who they would like to nominate to be a member, then,
Well, we have, originally when I talked to him, to Garrett, to Mayor Wood, was Brent Fisher had offered to chair it, because he's a member of MGA and some other stuff, and he had interest and knowledge because in improving the golf course. And then he looked around and talked to a number of different people who would be interested, who had various backgrounds, and the people that he was interested in was one of the WGA players, who is Linda Puccioni, who has a lot of experience with other golf courses and budgets with golf courses. And then also Mike Fletcher, who is a finance guy, and he's a golfer that has played at a number of different areas. Lonnie Tackett, who is the golf coach at Marble Falls High School for years and plays out here every day. Then, of course, Brent, yeah. And then myself as representing the LGA. And so that was the core group that we were talking about putting together.
Let me get back to Will's point about raising for city council members, whether they should serve or not. And I brought that up because the board is, the way I conceive the board, it's going to make recommendations. And if we have a city council member on the board who's making a recommendation, you're making a recommendation to yourself. Mm-hmm. And that's I have no problem with a council member or two council members at a time attending meetings and making recommendations at the board meetings. But just being a official board member is the point I'm trying to make, not whether they participate and provide input.
got it,
I
okay.
agree.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Then I would suggest I would like to find another member of the LGA to be represented, but I'm not sure who that is. I think if Brent has someone else that he knows that would work with the people that we've put together.
Would that still give you opportunities to meet with them? I mean, would that be out of?
No, it's a 5-member board.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
But the mayor, the ex-mayor was saying she could attend the meetings and give advice, right?
Yeah.
If she wanted to.
In fact, I would say the board probably should send a notice out that they're going to be meeting, and so the first two council members that want to attend, just speak up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think,
That's a good point.
well, I think one of the things is understanding the nature of that advisory board. And it was that they will be meeting and then once they make the, kind of set up their goals and what they're doing, long-term, short-term, to start determining that. And then I would assume that different ones would look at different things. Some look at this kind of budget, some look at operational stuff, some with the maintenance things, and that would be maybe what they would be doing. But, yeah, if, that would be fine, if you want to just do it as a board, a separate advisory board.
Yeah, and I guess a council member could be like yourself, could be sort of a point of contact, right, to represent the council,
Okay.
just
Or even an attending member.
just an attending member, yeah.
Yeah.
Attending person, or,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'd have to, we'd have to either change the resolution in terms of it's meant to be as an appointee. And right now, I mean, we could leave it with just 4 appointees.
Yeah.
And then just get the 5th one later, after we've talked to Brent or
Yeah,
whoever.
well, Brenda's here, so,
Brent is here in the,
yeah,
here?
so when we get to this, then we was going to speak, once that was the,
We don't have to appoint all seats at the moment, right? We can leave one open.
oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying, is that you could just, I would recommend that you take the 4 that he has put together, yes. Brent and the 3 others.
Yeah. And so that leaves one spot open that we can
If
have
they
suggestions.
want to
that I
add
can-
somebody to it. And he may, and once they look at what they, once they have a meeting, I believe, and look at what they have and the talent they have, then they may find an area that you may be missing. And then that would give him the opportunity
Yeah,
to do that. That would work fine,
okay.
yeah.
Hey, Carolyn, the other thing I was wondering about is the terms. The way the ordinance is set up, it's 5-year, or 3-year rather.
We did 3
And then-
years.
But I'm trying to think whether maybe they ought to be staggered, so
Well,
that
they're-
each year we get a new,
Yeah, good idea.
new budget, so that we
Well,
got some continuity, because.
Here's
what-
I guess the reason I
Please.
felt like, I'm sorry, go ahead.
The reason I say that is because you don't want to necessarily replace the whole darn board. You want to have some continuity with what they've done before, so a couple people have to stay on the board for the next, I guess, for the next year, or whatever, 2 years, I guess.
Yeah,
Have
I like
them
that.
draw for terms.
I'm
The-
sorry?
Have them draw for terms.
Yeah, and then stagger them. And then once you get past the first 2 years, then every term is a 3-year. Every term is 3 years after the first time.
Okay, I think when we just started it, we had just said that the 3-year term, mainly because I think to do the full plan, they need that amount of time. And so that's the reason that we had just done it as 3 years.
I don't disagree with that. It's just probably 2 members could do it for the 2 years. And then once the 2 years is up, they sign up for another 3 years. And so that you will have the voice, and they can also get reappointed too.
Yeah.
There's nothing
Right,
to stop them
yes.
from being reappointed.
I
Yes.
agree with staggering terms.
Okay.
'Cause
That's the way we
everybody
do it on city council. We have staggered terms.
Well, and we do it the PFC also,
Yeah.
but I think because this was just as an advisory board, and we didn't know how long it was going to take, to really accomplish what they wanted to do. We had made it 3, but
Okay.
what does anybody else want to do? It's fine.
guys have anything to say?
I'm good with all this. No, it sounds.
So, the whole purpose of this board is just to come up with recommendations.
Yes.
They are going to be doing research and recommendations. It'll be like a total study of what we need for this golf course for the next 10 years. And some of it will be near term and far term. And the reason this came about was when I served on the RTM in Connecticut, we had a golf advisory board for a golf course that was built the same year as this one. And what the advisory board did, we had a booklet with photographs and everything of the conditions, and each year when we looked at our budget, they would give us input of this year, we know that this piece of equipment needs to be replaced, or this drainage issue needs to be looked at, and so they would advise us so that when we're putting the budget together. And that was the intent of this one.
So where does David come in with all this?
Well, he'll be, because they talk with David in terms of understanding,
Issues.
what's going on and the conditions and things. And so but
Dave-
David is not gonna spend the time of researching all of these various things.
David gives us a 30,000-foot view of what's going on with the golf course. They will be able to spend enough time with David to get an understanding of what really needs to be recommended for us to implement, you know.
David looks at the trees, and y'all are gonna look at the forest.
Well,
Y'all are gonna look at
there's,
the overall plan and try to triage.
Or each specific tree,
Whether it's
basically.
tree cutting
Yeah.
or that number
Irrigation,
10,
right.
number 1
Right.
needs the complete overhaul on the cart path. Those kinds of things that David, some of them are obvious to David, but not all.
well, they are, but here's
all
the
will be.
problem that I have found, is that no one puts anything in writing. It's always in their head.
Yeah.
And I think for us to take actionable, take action, we need to have a plan, and we need to kind of be able to anticipate. It's like right now, there's no plans to replace golf carts. We need to understand the conditions of them, where we can house them. We know in general that we can't put any more electric golf carts in there because we don't have the power to do it. And right now, they're still tripping the plugs all the time. So this is what the idea was to get some people that have a vested interest in the success of this golf course to do some meaningful research and planning to give us advice so that we can look at it. Now, it doesn't mean that we have to accept it, but they want to put together a plan that will tell us a direction and timeframes, and cost of things, so that when we are doing our budgeting, we know what we are going to need, and we may not be able to do it this year, but we are aware that this is coming up. So far, because most of the time we're doing reaction. Something breaks, we react. Well, did you not know that is getting close to, having to be replaced? So that was the intent.
Outlined in for the advisory board. I know that we've got some in this draft of the ordinance, but,
Well, I think it's more
like the
of,
frequency of meetings, do we need to?
no, I
need to do
don't
that.
see that as,
Yeah.
this is an advisory board, it doesn't come under the Open Meetings Act. So it's more on getting the people together. They may be doing some meetings by Zoom, if people are traveling or out,
Yeah.
that type of thing. It was more of, once you get the advisory board and let them set what they're doing, and they will be presenting to us their progress and what they have in mind when they get to that point.
This thing spells out, the ordinance spells out the powers and duties of the
Yes.
board. It's not necessarily, it's kind of to provide us with input and advice where money's required, I guess.
Yeah.
And not to interfere with day-to-day operations of the course. That's
They can't
totally
take
out-
action on
That's
anything.
outside
No,
their lane.
there's no action, but there are, what their capacity is in here, if you've read the ordinance, basically, it says the board will have a chairperson appointed by the mayor, serves a one-year term as an officer, and then usually, like in the past, like with the OPOA, you had a board, but then they elected who was gonna be the chairman or whatever within it. But, and it says the board may establish rules or bylaws as necessary, so however they wanna structure their meetings to conduct business. Some of this was taken from pre-existing ordinances, And so we tried to get out the things that didn't quite fit. We did take out things like requirements for the Open Meetings Act, because they have no financial authority at all on that. And strictly as an advisory and a fact-finding committee, which we've had in the past, done those when we were looking at remodeling the restaurant and the pool area. We've had all those kinds of committees, and we just worked as a committee.
Yeah.
And the chairman actually was the one that set the meetings, and sometimes the mayor would come, but not always. Generally, it was just the committee.
Those were a little bit more informal, though. This is sort of a 10-year plan, so we were wanting to formalize
Right, this one has a
it.
little bit more of that
Yeah.
in there, so then, they would be, reporting once. Now, how long it's gonna take them to put the plan together, and I see, it's an ongoing plan. My familiarity with what we did before was that you had the plan, but it kept being updated, obviously, as you needed new things. But that was the intent, and the 4 people that, 3 people plus Brent, who's here today, I think are good candidates because of their experience and their knowledge of other golf courses. And they bring that there, I think, and operations, and financial information.
So can we vote on this?
Make a motion?
But before we do, there's a typo that needs to be corrected.
On the ordinance,
First, we vote on the ordinance.
The resolution, no vote on that yet?
No, you have to do the ordinance first.
Okay.
yeah, the ordinance.
The ordinance, but.
Well, also on the ordinance, I believe it reads that, Will, correct me if I'm wrong, but something about how you can still appoint a city council member to the,
No. It says no.
but it says you cannot.
25.2F on page 3, no member shall serve
Yeah, we don't
or
want a city
city
council
or
member
city
on there.
employee. So, and that's what we resolved, or that's what we talked about.
Oh,
We don't
okay.
want that.
Carolyn, so we don't need to change that.
We don't need to change it, no.
But do we need to take the,
Yeah,
on
okay.
25.2A, do we need to clarify that the first year, 2 years, and then
Well, if you want to
staggered
do it staggered, then you're going to have to make those changes in there, and then we'll make the changes in the resolution, yeah.
I think we need to do that.
Why don't we just do that, we could pass this and just say with respect to these other items, those will be corrected before it's signed by the.
Oh, yeah,
mayor.
I mean, we can make the corrections now.
Yeah, yeah.
So how do you want the 25.2A to read? Where is,
Page 3 at the top.
oh, okay. It's on page 3 at the top.
25.2A?
Mm-hmm.
You just add to that,
Well,
the initial board shall serve for a term of 2 years until the staggered terms kick in.
Or
In the
3 board
original-
members will
Where's the
serve for 3
original?
years
I
and
got-
2
I
for
got-
2 years.
He's got the original.
Uh-huh.
What
So
does
in
the original
yeah,
say?
The first version, it was, the term of 3 of the board members shall expire on, and, that was May 31st, but that's changed now, of each odd number years, and the terms of 2 members shall expire on May 31st of each even number year. The members of the board shall be identified by place numbers 1 through 5. The odd number places shall expire in odd number years, and the even number places shall expire in even number years. Board members may be appointed to succeed themselves. Initial board shall consist of 3 members whose terms shall be.
So there's an actual wording that can replace A.
Copy paste.
So
copy
what I would
paste.
say is, we would place A with, and then we need to read what A is. And then that's what we would be voting on there.
Read what his version is.
Yes,
Yeah.
so if you want to do the staggered years, then you would replace A with, what's the number on that one? Oh, well, we just make it A, just,
It's
Just make it A.
25-3A on this one.
okay,
but-
all right, it's 25-3A.
And,
Well, wait a minute, we're gonna have to, but that's a different document. I guess, what you're gonna have to do is read it, and if we all accept it, and then when you write it up, you just put that in here. Then go ahead and read the full thing, and we're just gonna say, replace this one with the version read.
Sure, I do have one question before we go on.
Yeah.
When do we want the boards to expire, their
Okay,
terms?
well, since we're doing it here, that's the reason we said this was going to be, June 16th, because we wanted them to get
Okay.
started, or you could put it back to June 1st, whatever you want to do.
Okay. Then the term of 3 members of the board shall expire on June 16th of each odd number year, and the terms of 2 of the board members shall expire on June 16th of each even number year. The member of the board shall be identified by place numbers 1 through 5. The odd number places shall expire in odd number years. The even number place shall expire even number years. Board members may be appointed to succeed themselves. Would you like to continue on with how it's supposed to start off?
Well, that would be a 2-year term, and I thought we were having 3-year terms. If you're doing, if you're elected on or appointed on an even year or odd year, that's every other year then, right? Someone goes off every year, but the term of each individual, if they're gonna reappointed on an even year, then that comes up in 2 years, right?
The initial board shall consist of 3 members whose term shall be for 2 years and 2 members whose term shall be for 1 year.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then what about subsequently, you said something about even year and odd year, that's where I was confused.
Does that work for them to go 3 years?
Not if it's a 3-year term, and you just say, well, hey,
Yeah.
because the first time they serve 3 years, they put some, if they join in 26, and 3 years is 29, so they're on an odd year then.
Mhm.
So that's what I'm saying, you can't just say even year and odd year, because if you got 3-year terms. Math doesn't work out.
No. No, the change to 3 years was after this was
Yeah.
written.
Most likely the people who are gonna be on it will wanna serve again.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
So why do we have to make it so complicated? We could just
Right.
keep it
Well,
at 2 years.
that's the reason I did it at 3 years, just trying to make it simple, but,
Well, this is spelled out for 2-year
That makes it
terms,
easier,
right?
what you're saying is easier.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't see any problem with that, if they wanna do, our positions are 2 years. So,
yeah.
But they're staggered.
And on
they are
number-
staggered, yeah, but nevertheless, 2 years, so.
And on number E, do you need to change that date?
Yes, that would have to be changed
Yeah.
too. Okay, so, all right. So let's go back to A. So you want the term of all members of the board. Well, that's not, how does that one
2 members of the
start?
board will expire in 2 years, and 3 members of the board will expire in 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If we wanted to be 3-year terms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that would do it.
okay,
Yeah.
so they're going to be,
There could be some years that no one's replaced, they're all,
Yeah.
they all stay.
all right, so the term of members of the board are, how many for 3 years?
Is that what you have written, Will?
I had 1 and 2 years.
Oh,
to
you
start
do.
with,
Oh,
And then
okay.
we took that out, but,
Term of 2 members of the board shall expire in 2 years or 3 years, and the term of 3 members of the board will expire in the opposite, whatever, easy.
okay. How about odd numbered, or even numbered expire at 2 years and odd numbers expire at 3 years? So that would be 2 and 2.
And that's gonna go to, because on this resolution, we have place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, okay. So, we've got to get those changes down. So the question is, did you figure that one out, Vanessa?
Well,
None of us did, so don't hold her responsible.
Well, so technically, in my brushing up on the Robert's Rules of Order, is that when someone makes a motion,
We haven't made a motion
made a
yet.
I know, but I'm saying that I'm gonna be the one that has to read out the changes, I believe, to vote on.
Yes, you do. You have
Yes.
to read out the changes.
So I need Will to give me that paper so I
So
can
someone
read.
needs to write it down, yeah.
You don't remember?
Because I can't remember that.
Okay. And then E will have to fix, the first, where are we?
25E?
I don't know, they have it, the term ending in 32, which is 3 years from now, and then it's,
No, 3 years
No.
from now it's 29.
6 years.
oh, 6 years, 20, I was looking at 29.
5 and a
6
half.
years, and then it can continue for another 6 years.
That's a sunset rule, somewhat like
Yeah.
Texas,
Yeah.
Texas
Right,
things are.
right,
and
they put a
then it gets
sunset clause.
reauthorized by the
Or,
council.
and what you'd have to do is that you can renew it if you want to continue the operation of it. All right, so that one stays the same. So is there anything else in this one?
I didn't see anything.
So can we vote on it?
You think you
Yes.
have language, Gary?
Please.
So what, okay,
Yeah, so I need to get your input on, because I've got 2 copies in front of me. One is the one
The
that Will
original.
gave me, and then the other one is the one that y'all have, I believe.
yeah,
So, section 25-2A,
A. We want to get rid of that one. We want to replace 25-2A, we want to replace it with,
this, but this
But
says that,
the terms of even,
let me read it and y'all can just correct me. The term of 3 of the members of the board shall expire on May 31st.
no,
June
get rid of the
16th.
May 31st.
Okay.
That's, yeah, that's what
On
you,
June 16th
June 16th.
of each odd-numbered year.
Huh?
I'm just reading out what
I
I'm
know.
seeing. But
You
the-
lost me.
The term of 3 of the members of the board shall expire on June 16th of each odd-numbered years, and the terms of 2 of the members shall expire on June 16th of each even-numbered year.
That's fine, as long as we understand it's a 2-year term.
Right.
Why don't you
And
just
then,
say a 2-year term?
but which ones have a 3-year term and which one have a 2-year term?
Why don't you just say 3-year and 2-year? I like simplicity. That's not simple.
Make 1, 3, and 5 have odd number years, and 2 and 4 have even.
Well, that's why I said 1, 3, and 5, because those are the odds, and then 2 and 4. Because
Two-
that's what,
Yeah, I'm
Two-year
thinking that
terms is
too.
the simplest thing, and
I'm
then you don't have
thinking
to
just
worry
2-year
about this.
terms.
2-year terms, all right, make them 2-year terms, all right.
Yeah,
Make it 2-year terms.
okay. So with that language we can leave in, correct?
Yeah,
The member of the board shall be identified by place numbers 1 through 5. The members of the board needs to be corrected. The odd numbers shall expire on the odd number years. The even numbers places shall expire in the even numbered years. On here though, it does not say, where does it say is a 2-year term specifically?
term members shall expire June 16th of every 2
3
years.
years,
On
okay.
A of 25-2, just change the 3 to 2.
Well, not all of them will have 2-year terms.
Okay.
They can't all have 2-year.
Yeah, if they expire on every odd year or even year, yeah, you're right. Okay.
So if they start 26,
they expire in 28.
then they expire in
So that's-
28, and then you could have the odd ones expire in 29. So give 2 and 3 years.
Okay. And then subsequently, it's every 2 years?
could do that.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. But that's gonna have to be spelled out here specifically, because in Will's version, it doesn't even say what the term.
Okay, all right, but somebody just gotta write this down, all right? Just,
Okay,
all right.
so we're replacing section 25-2A entirely.
Read it and I'll write it.
So the term of all of the board members, no, I'm sorry, that's the old one. The term of 3 of the members of the board shall expire on June 16th of 20, we need to specify the date, right, for
Well,
this?
do you want them to have 3 years or 2 years?
Well, 2 years.
How about 28?
All right, the term of 3 members of the board shall expire
June 16th, 2028.
June 16th, 2028.
And the term of 2 members of the board
Right,
shall expire in 2029.
And the
June
term
16th, 2029.
And then,
of 2 members
and then every 2 years thereafter?
of the board
Yeah.
Yeah.
shall
Different-
expire
different-
Yeah,
that-
and then
that-
then there's every
On-
year, someone's expiring.
June
Yeah.
16th,
Just like us.
2029.
Right,
Then
And then-
subsequent to that,
Every 2 years thereafter.
subsequent to that, every
the board,
Place.
the terms are
term
2-year
shall be-
terms.
Yeah,
Yeah.
every member shall expire on a 2-year term.
Oh, boy.
I've got to be more.
Every member, every board member term.
I mean, we could delay this until next month, but it sounds like we
No.
want to get it going.
We
right?
want to get
We're
it done.
close.
Got
We're
it.
too
Well, that's
close.
why
We
we
could also-
tried to
well,
get the ordinance
Yeah.
If-
read and done
we-
ahead of time.
We do
Well, we
have 2
don't have
meetings
to.
next week.
I don't think we have
Subsequent,
to have the exact wording down here, as long as we have the
every
concept,
board member
we
term will
approve
be
the
2
concept.
years.
There you
And
go.
you said
Okay,
that
that's it.
15 minutes ago.
That's it. Okay, we got it.
locked it.
Let's approve
Okay,
the
we're done with
concept
that?
and then
All right.
move on.
So,
Let the drafting
um,
can
She
take
got a motion.
place later.
I second the motion.
Wait a minute, we've got to
Hold on.
get, just a
Can you
minute.
fix that later?
Well, no, but you gotta do the resolution, I gotta get the resolution on here too. All right, so place 1, 3, and 5 are going to be 3-year, okay. So this is gonna be 2028. This is gonna be 2028, and this is gonna be 2028. And then the other ones will be
2029.
2029, 2029, okay,
And then every two years after that.
yeah. Well, the resolution doesn't have that in there,
We do have 2 meetings next week that are
I know,
intended to be budget
but I know,
meetings.
but we wanna get this one done, I think we can get it done. And then what I'm gonna suggest is that Brent Fisher be in place 2, so he serves 3 years,
Okay.
okay? And, Then I
And
would
we
like-
don't have to have the names in there for the resolution.
okay.
We don't
all
have
right,
to have the names.
Okay, but he's gotta appoint he's gotta appoint them.
Is that part of?
Yeah, we
us
do.
If we had approval,
Establishing
then
it.
it needs to.
It's the next action.
It's, okay.
Oh, okay.
If he
If I
hasn't
can ask-
changed his mind by now.
Okay.
I guess,
sorry.
yeah, he might after this. Brent, who else should be a 3-year, who do you want me to make? Can we talk about it? Linda? Okay, okay. So I'm gonna put these in here. Gianni, and then I'll have Lonnie Tackett,
I think we're gonna think about.
and I have Mike Fletcher. Okay,
And
all
then
right.
one to be appointed later.
Later, yeah.
Okay, one B, okay. All right, so now we can make the motion on the ordinance.
Okay. You can have it, can I read that?
Okay.
Carolyn, all the individuals that are on this board are residents of Meadow Lakes, are they not?
No, Mike Fletcher is not, and the whole reason we and our discussion was that this is a public golf course, and we felt like that he has a lot of financial background and getting some other inputs, not just residents, because not just residents play the golf course. And that was the intent of having an advisory board that has a variety of experience. That was the reasoning we
I'd
used.
love for y'all ask our opinion about this.
I sent it out.
No, that was, but that was the reasoning behind it, was to get as broad of input.
Do you have someone, Barbara, to appoint?
I'll talk to Brent about it,
Okay.
but not now.
Well, there's gonna be a remaining seat
Yeah, I
available.
know, I'll talk to Brent about it.
Okay. All right, do we have a motion?
I move we accept ordinance 2026-02, an ordinance of City of Meadow Lakes adding Chapter 25 entitled Golf Course Advisory Board, Establishment of Golf Course Advisory Board, providing for duties, appointment, and removal of members, providing for powers and authorities, providing for repealing, saving, and severability clause, providing for an effective date of this ordinance with the changes that we discussed.
Second,
Okay. So we need to take a vote on the ordinance 2026-02, establishment of Golf Course Advisory Board. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, it's unanimous. All right, now we can move on. The next item actually is to Resolution 2026-07, confirming appointments of members to the Meadow Lakes Golf Course Advisory Board that we just created, subject to the changes, of course.
and I have two changes to the, two corrections.
Okay.
On the second line, it says Golf Course Advisory Board. Go all the way down to confirmation of mayor appointment, it says Meadow Lakes Building Advisory Board.
What page is that?
Oh, it's
Barbara?
on that
On
one,
the very
yeah.
first one,
Yeah, it's not, it's meant,
It should say Golf Course
it should
Advisory
be hidden, it should be the golf course.
Board. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find which one. I've got so many papers here.
To
Oh, there
the-
we go.
So here
It
we
should
say
be the Golf Course Advisory
Here it says
Board.
To the Meadow Lakes Building.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah.
need those changes
Okay,
made.
all right.
Good catch.
Okay.
That's a good
I
catch.
make a motion that we accept Resolution 2026-7, a resolution by the City of Meadow Lakes, Burnett County, Texas, confirming appointment of members to the Meadow Lakes Golf Course Advisory Board, establishing terms of office for each, providing a severability clause, establishing an effective date, with the following corrections, that in Section 3, Meadow Lakes Building be changed to golf course. The Place 1, the term goes to 2028, and that would be Lonnie Tackett. Place 2, the term goes to 2029, and that is Brent Fisher. Place 3, Mike Fletcher, 2028.
Well, Carolyn, I don't,
What?
technically, I think I'm supposed to,
Oh, you're supposed, well, I was
Point.
just making the
Yeah.
motion.
well, you can make the motion, but I don't think you have to list them
Oh,
all
okay,
off.
all right,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
okay, I just was gonna, so,
just the motion,
and the fourth place would be 2029, and the fifth place, 2028.
right, that's right. All right, is there a second for the motion? Barbara seconds it. Okay, so the motion is for confirming the appointment of members to the Meadow Lakes Golf Course Advisory Board. I appoint, let's see, can you give me those places real quick?
Yeah,
I mean, you could have done it, but technically I'm the
Yeah,
one that's supposed to do
I
it. All right, place 1, Lonnie Tackett. Place 2, Brent Fisher. Place 3, Mike Fletcher. Place 4, Linda Pucciani. And place 5 is vacant at the moment. All right, so all in favor of adopting the resolution?
Aye.
It's unanimous. All right, the next item we've got is an executive session to discuss our city manager's performance.
Does it make a difference on the agenda that it's got Monday, June 16th? Does that make any difference at all in rules and regulations?
It's a typo, no.
On
Just-
the, on,
On the date
The
of the
agenda
meeting?
just needs to be reflected, it's Tuesday, so it's just a typo.
Right, you had thought that maybe it was a problem with ordinances or something.
oh,
It
okay.
was the wrong day.
I don't see that on mine, I don't know which
City
one.
It's
council
very,
meeting.
very tight.
Monday.
Oh,
June
okay, that
16th.
one.
Sorry, I'm a bookkeeper, I just particular about things.
That, should be corrected, yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you designated proofreader.
Yeah, I think so.
It's in there a couple of times.
All right, so we are going to adjourn to an executive session. Appreciate everybody coming. If you don't want to hang around, you don't have to.
Don't need to.
We'll be back after that to discuss what we came up with, and then we're going to adjourn. There's nothing left.
Okay.
Okay, I need to get a glass of water, drink water.
Yeah, there's some in there, bottled water.
That was almost painful.
match woman. But I mean, I was pissed. And Johnny said, your eyes had that sparks flying out of them look. And I said, well, that's where I was.
And that is definitely his decision,
Yes.
to sit there
And I
and be
told him,
sick
oh,
or.
yeah. You know, and he knew, you know, and that was one of the things that, when they did what they call chemo teach, when you go in, one of the, she's not a charge nurse, but she's one of the more experienced oncology nurses. She does the class, and Johnny and Lane and I sat for like 2.5 hours, and she goes through this binder to telling you, this may happen, that may happen, this may happen. You know, the mights, the maybes, the probablys, all of the, you know, X% of patients have this reaction. Well, I guess this week has been so hard because we have been sort of getting lucky up till now. You know, other than the Friday fatigue hitting the week of chemo and the neuropathy, he's not had any side effects. He got his hair, he's never been nauseated, he's, you know, we have just been so damn lucky. And then it comes to an end, all at once. But, you know, and that made it harder, because we you know, I go to, actually, HEB, and I get like 3 boxes of the ammonia, and I put it in the cabinet. We went out there 2 weeks ago yesterday, and I took, when we were putting, because he's got a port right here, and before we leave the house on chemo days, you have to take a piece of press and seal out of the kitchen cabinet, about this big square, and you put a dot of this numbing cream on it, and you put it on there, and it sticks to the skin. If you ever need a bandage or something over something, press and seal works great. But anyway, you just slap that on there, he buttons his shirt, and you go. Well, when you get out there, when they start to do put the needle into the port, the skin's all numb. So you just pop it in there. Well, when I took about 2 more bites, and he said, that's it, I'm going home. Is Jenny gone? And I said, yeah, she had left, because I could tell on the ring doorbell. I said, she's gone. So Haley was all worried. She goes, you okay? And I said, no. I said, I'm wondering if he's going to do chemo. Well, that night, he's going to die. And it went from last Monday night, really basically through last night. But, like I said, I said, 8 pounds, 8 more pounds. So I was at Walmart buying plastic waste, you know, just kind of lightweight, not jogging pants, but because they had that heavy, sweatpants. And these are just, they're a little heavier than this, but they're more of a cotton blend. And I took 2 sizes home and bought the mediums. And he tried those on, he said, well, no, these are better. He said, those other ones, he said, I'll have to fold them up. I said, well, no, we don't need that. So anyway, I took the other 2 back and bought 2 more of the ones that fit. But, I was not because he just, sometimes he made it and sometimes he didn't. And I finally put the hot rugs in my bathroom because I was not washing. But you know how rugs are, how tough and they gotta wash. I got them all clean. They're all on the patio table clean. He said, where are the rugs? I said, when this is over, we'll get rugs again. But it has been a long week. I came in here this morning, we late, morning ago. We got up this morning and we actually felt better because the doctor, one thing she did positive was write a prescription for the, they used to call it Removal or something like that. The doctors would give you a prescription for it. And I know my sister, I never had that much problem with that, but my sister said anytime she traveled, she would make sure she had a current prescription in hand. And she goes, she called it the minute blood. She said, one of those and you are done going. Maybe for a few days. But I said, the doctor wrote that yesterday. We picked it up before we went home and I said, since we got home, popped in one. And then I sat down and looked it up to see what it was. It's anti-inflammatory. And it goes into T1 and it's a blended, it's this medicine, it's the old Removal, plus it's this. It's supposed to keep you from getting addicted to it. So, we went, I said, the first one didn't do too much, so like, and it said not to exceed 4 for 24 hours. Elaine goes, Mom, that's pure sugar. I said, Brian, it's getting wet and it's got calories. Pick your battles. What do I do? And he goes, well, yeah, I guess you're right. I said, hey, it's going down.
Yeah.
It counts, okay?
Yeah.
So, anyway, I don't know. Wayne started giving instructions this morning, and I said, wait, just do look. I said, this is number 2 day 2 that we're 4 days off. If you want to run the show, you better look up and can you do it over the phone? Because your mom's talking. And I said, Timbers, what the little friend around here. So, it's strong criticism on it. Okay. So then he called back not too long before I left to ask something. And I said, oh, next time you're, I said, I need a new weather station. Mine's crapped out. He went, yeah, I do too. Johnny was sitting there, he heard me telling him, he said, get such and such brand this time. What y'all been buying didn't last very long. And Wayne said, well, mine was fine until I threw it all over the dog and knocked her puppy off. Well, that's on you. But, anyway, while I was sitting here, Wayne texted and said, your weather station is ordered, it's shipping to my house, I'll be there this weekend to pick it up. Good. So, anyway, I don't know, but,
How's it going, Vanessa?
I don't know why they put those up where they don't use them.
I know it.
And I can't grow a tree, so.
I'll kind of mess around with them
official deal or just the word of mouth, hey, so-and-so needs a little help on the yard this week or something, you know, I don't
My
know.
neighbor needs help.
Well,
What does she need help with, or he?
You know where you put up the sign?
Uh-huh.
Just, I mean, his grass is that high.
Steve and,
He's had most of his toes and feet, he has, he's bad diabetic, and he just can't do it anymore, and he needs help.
ask Carolyn who she and Steve were talking about before the meeting. They were talking about somebody,
I bet it was John,
that, I think that is right,
yeah,
yes.
he needs help.
Because, Steve said, well, so-and-so, his neighbor, paid to do it once.
Right.
And he said,
Right.
I'll see if he wants to do that again. And he said, and Carolyn said, well, if he doesn't, let me know and I'll chip in and start a pot. So they were talking
Okay.
about somebody tonight.
It's John.
Yes.
Yeah. And I thought at one time we had people that would help
Yeah,
little, you know,
Yeah.
little old ladies that needed
right.
light bulb change or
Right.
something, but, I'll ask Carolyn about
Yeah,
that.
like I say, ask her who she and Steve were talking about, because, they were talking about somebody. I tell you what, if it doesn't quit raining, we're all gonna have to get a second job mowing grass.
Yeah.
Do you have mosquitoes?
I had the first ones today. We got.
First one, I
Yes.
can't go in my backyard, I mean, they just swarm.
The trick, and you can Google Listerine mosquito spray.
Okay.
You take,
Listerine mosquito spray.
you take Listerine, stale beer, and, I mean, I just popped the top on it and let it sit there 5 or 6 hours, and then I poured it in the deal and stirred it to kill the, you know, the fizz, and I considered it stale at that point. Added the Listerine, and I can't remember what else is in there.
Maybe.
But it worked. I sprayed around the edges of my patio, and I didn't have them. And then also those bags at Walmart that have it's a plastic bag, a heavy plastic, and it's got a lime green kind of header ring on it, and it's got a chemical in the bottom of it. And they're like $9, or they were 9, they're probably 20 now. But you put hot water, like a cup or two of real hot water in there, and dissolve that, and then hang it on a hook on your patio, and you will be amazed at how many dead mosquitoes you have inside that.
Really?
They fly in there, and it's got kind of a one-way deal in, it's something that attracts them. Those worked very well last summer.
So what department do I find that in?
They're in the outdoor department where the Christmas decorations go, back there.
Oh, okay, okay.
And, I don't know, just, I
Okay.
haven't been there this year, and I haven't bought one of them this year, because I had not had any trouble.
Gosh, do I
But I may get up, I'm hoping we can get through tonight with no rain, and I need to get up and mow again in the morning. Because I've been mowing every 3 or 4 days.
Oh, I believe it.
Whenever I can catch, or that, or I'll look at the rain and go, okay, Wednesday's my day, because Thursday it goes back to rain, and I'll make sure I mow on Wednesday. But
Yeah, there's a chance, I think what's today?
Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
Yeah,
yeah.
yep.
Tomorrow is about the only day. Okay, what happened to Marble Falls that they had to appoint the councilman?
I don't know, I hadn't heard about that yet.
Well, because the Lauren Holcomb that just got beat in the election,
Mhm.
she's just posted, I want to express my sincere gratitude to the gentleman on the Marble Falls City Council for their 6-1 vote of confidence in appointing me back to serve our community. Because I don't know if somebody resigned or what the deal was,
Huh.
but
Yeah, that's
I
pretty
hadn't heard
unusual.
that.
2 minutes from the torrential sideways downpour, she ran to her rain gauge and poured out 5.5 inches, and that was for today, for today.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, there's radar estimates 6 hours ago of 5 inches in 3 hours. Guess I can ask my husband to text him. Oh, my son did buy me a weather station, $162 worth. I didn't think it's a good one. Hope it lasts longer than the last one. Oh, heck. Now what I was gonna say, after we come home, I pulled up the El Cigarette hydromat deal, and, in 24 hours, let me see if I'm showing.
What, we got over 2 inches here?
Well, that's what, yeah, it's not coming up this time. Okay. But it was enough that my flower bed on the front porch, I guess the next time I clean that, redo mulch, I'm just gonna literally have to dig down a few inches, take it all out, and then put mulch back in below, because now, if it comes off the side of there, if it gets heavy enough, it washes my mulch onto my front porch. So you have to get a square nose shovel and go out there and put it all back in the flower bed. Okay, in 48 hours, that's the rainfall. That's out at the FW Hall. That's out by Huber's Mine, and that's at the dam. So,
Okay, did you know HEB fills pet prescriptions?
Most pharmacies do,
Really?
yeah.
Will?
goes west of the hospital about a half a mile on 71, and it goes 3 or 4 tenths of east of 71, east of 281 on 71. Yeah, because if there's a major intersection at the intersection, a major accident at the intersection now, it's city.
I don't know how I did
residual, even though it's clean, vacuumed off and all that. We cannot guarantee it to be free of any pet, allergens. And I said, no, the Great Dane didn't get in the carrier, we can't bring him. Because Donna and Dewey have a Great Dane. We could rent a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 3,200 square foot house cheaper than we could get 2 mid-level hotel rooms
Where is it?
in Estes Park, Colorado. But we've got everything, everything's booked. House is booked, flats are booked, cars booked.
When is this gonna happen?
September 22nd through the 29th, right in the middle of Elk Rut. I was showing when we were all together on, May at Haley's graduation at A&M, I was sitting there flipping through, we were waiting on something, and I was sitting there flipping through stuff, and I had this, friend, or this girl on Facebook called Friends of Rocky Mountain National Park. And it's just a page that you can, people post their pictures, right now everything's dropping babies, but they're mountain pictures and, just, they ask questions about, well, I'm gonna go hike this, what do I need, just all the general questions. But when we were there in May, they had had 21 inches of snow in May. And it was beautiful downtown because the snow was, 2 feet on all the sidewalks, and the shop owners thought there was a doorway, shoveled out. And, I was sitting there just like you and I are sitting, flipping pages, and the baby moose, I think were so cute. But Dawn and I were sitting there, and, I said, well, see, and that's 4 weeks ago and 2 weeks ago, same place. Said this picture and this picture are the same. And that was, so that would have been about the time we were there, or that we were looking at it. But she said, Robin, we've never been to Estes Park. I said, y'all have been all over the stinking world, and you haven't been to Estes Park. And she goes, nope. I said, well, that's just wrong. And she said, well, why don't you fix it? And I said, you want to go to Estes Park? She goes, hell yeah, because Dewey fell last September and broke his humerus right here, shattered it in Jamaica.
Oh,
Well, Barbara's not here.
There's 3 council members, you can do that.
Yeah, I guess you can.
He could only raise it from here. But then we got 3 of us, so you can bring it back.
All right, so we are back out of executive session, which we discussed our city manager's employees' performance. Next item on the agenda is really nothing, right? Yeah, we're adjourned.
I second.
All in favor? All right, we're adjourned. Thank you.